Staff, what was that like Sunday morning, just getting the news and having to kind of flip the page there too?
Yeah, obviously it came as a surprise and caught all of us off guard. But at the same time, you know you have to respond the right way and continue on the mission at hand and continue to be a guiding and supporting person for everybody involved, including our players. That was a big thing as a staff, that we understood that we had to be there for our players and make sure that we respond the way that they would want us to respond in order to continue on the mission at hand.
And now, obviously your future's all of a sudden in question too as a coaching staff, with what's going to happen. What's that like for you too, where all of a sudden you've got now to think about your future?
Yeah, that's the part that is always tough in this profession. And I love this profession from the standpoint of what it should be all about, the relationships that you build, the connections, just the positive influence that you can have on student athletes. But at the end of the day, this thing's a business. And we all know that. And college football has become a big money business. And so in turn, decisions have to be made and to help that business grow and continue the way it needs to go and the direction it needs to go. And so being a part of that and you understanding that, you just have to make sure that, all right, what's next, what's potentially next, always planning for the future. But as we tell our players all the time, be in the moment. Right now, as a staff, we have to be in this moment with our guys day to day, help them make sure this operation is going the way it should go, continue to be there for our players, continue to guide them through this as well. And if we can continue on that track and just continue to go day by day, then in turn we'll get the results that we want. And then the cards will fall where they fall. And that's all you can do. Control what you can control at the end of the day.
Spencer said that he'll continue to, call plays. He's going to move down to the sideline. Is there anything that will your role evolve or change at all, or with Spence adding more to his plate? Like, what gets taken off of it, I guess?
Yeah, everybody has to expand their role. Everybody has to pick up some slack here and there. At the end of the day, Spencer's taken on a lot. And so he's got to lean on us as a staff and make sure that we can handle some of these other things and other responsibilities that he was doing during the week that now, because he's got a different hat on, he may not get to. And so us, myself, Coach Chins, Jabril, Coach Demo, all of us have to step up and make sure that we handle all the little things that he may necessarily not get to because of what now is happening and how we have to go forward. And that's just like anything else, man. We talk to our players all the time as far as know your role and own your role. And in turn, we have to do that as coaches right now. And our roles are changing a little bit because of what's going on. And in turn, we still got to own those roles and do everything in our power to make sure this operation is going as smoothly as we can. And again, it's about the players. How can we make sure that this atmosphere is conducive for our players to be successful every single day, create the energy and the enthusiasm that we want as far as the atmosphere in the building, and make sure that when the guys show up here, man, we're rolling.
Seems like spirits are high at practice, energy is high. Has it felt any different to you out there the last 2 days?
Yeah, the guys have been awesome, man. We got a resilient group. We really do. And to be honest, man, that's just who these players are. That's just what these guys are all about. They're all about each other. They came here and they're playing for Boise State football. They're playing for each other. Their teammates, those guys in the locker room, the guys that they spent all this time with over the course of however, some 6-year seniors, some first-year freshmen, but they've, over the course of time, evolved into the family, into a brotherhood. And when that happens, when things like this happen, you just come together, right? And you make sure that you're doing it for the right purpose, and our guys play for our players. And as coaches, we're trying to match their energy, we're trying to match their enthusiasm as much as we possibly can, and we're here for them. We're here to help them get to where they want to get to and to continue this mission that they're all on. They all understand that hey, there's still things to play for. There's a lot of pride at stake here. And whatever happens outside of our control happens, but we still are playing for Boise State football and for each other, and that's a big part of this thing.
I know Spencer obviously called it, but Andy being a defensive guy probably had a very heavy influence on the defense. Are we, scheme-wise, are we going to see anything different that now that you and Spencer and the defensive staff, or there's just a change there? What's the defense going to look like?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's week 11, right? It's game 11, and so for us to have a schematic change of drastic proportion is not realistic. We've got to stick to what we know, what our guys know. There'll be some things from a game planning standpoint that maybe as a staff that we see and that we can implement going into this week, but there's not going to be anything from a dramatic scheme change at this point in the season, man. What we want, our whole goal as a staff, is for our guys to go out there and play fast and play with the utmost confidence. And if we can get that done, man, I think we're going to see a good result because of that.
Speaking of playing fast, the thing to me that sticks out the most with Utah State is they try to.
Yeah.
Is that the greatest challenge, and how do you attack somebody that really plays that fast?
Yeah, I think they're averaging like 80-some plays a game. And that's in today's game with now trying to speed the game up as far as the time and whatnot for them to still get 80 plays a game. They're going fast. And you watch the film, and it's very evident. I mean, the sticks, they can't keep up with them, how fast they're going. And so our guys, man, we got to try and simulate through practice as much as we possibly can. But obviously a scout team trying to simulate how efficient that offense can be is hard. So our guys understand, they know that going into this, man, we have to get aligned every single snap and have that pre-snap success that we strive for every single week. But this week, man, it's at a premium.
It looks like the halves this year that you guys have done well on third downs and we've gotten off the field, that things go well. I mean, is that the quickest way to stop them, to make sure that you stop them on third down?
100%. In order for us to get the ball back, we have to get the ball out of these guys' hands, right? it's you say it and it's like, yeah, obviously, but it's a lot easier said than done. So we have to be efficient on third downs from the standpoint of whatever third down it is, third and medium, third and long, third and shorts. If we can come up with a play to get these guys off the field and get our offense back on the field, that's just going to help us from a play count standpoint and just getting us our chance to get a break. Because as these guys go, we can't sub and get guys in and out. So in order for us to get guys off the field, we got to get off the field as a defense. So we have to be, as far as our execution, it's got to be on a high level from the standpoint of just doing my job and then finishing every play. I mean, the tackle, being able to tackle and get guys on the ground as quick as we can. So again, they don't get those hidden yards that create third and medium, third and shorts. If it is a third and medium, third and short, being able to create knockback tackles so we can get off the field. I mean, there's just so many little things that equal big things at the end of the day.
Kane, do you want to be a head coach one day? And if so, why? What do you think you bring to that?
Why would you ever do that, right? Why would you ever put yourself in that position?
Yeah.
No, I think, I can't speak for everybody, but I know when you get into something like this, at some point, you do want to sit in that chair. And I want to sit in that chair at some point. And over the course of my time, I've made decisions within my career to help propel me to that position and to get me to a point where I've experienced different things and been with different head coaches and get a chance to go through things like this and just to take mental notes but more importantly, write stuff down and to just go through it as much as I can with all the experiences and apply these lessons going forward that will help me when that opportunity presents itself, whenever that may be.
You've been here for a couple of years now, for several years at the FCS level, right? What's your experience been like here, and how's the demands of this job different than when you were at Montana State?
To be honest, it's very similar because of Montana State, Boise State. When you talk about the state itself and just the people within that state, those two schools are very similar from the standpoint of those. Montana doesn't have a professional team. Idaho doesn't have a professional team. So everything revolves around that football program. And same thing here. So it's very similar from the standpoint of the media attention and the pressures of performance and making sure that you put in a good product on the field every single week. So it's very similar in that regard. And at the end of the day, though, why I'm in this profession is to have a positive influence on student athletes and to help guide those student athletes from young 17, 18-year-old boys to grown men that can make decisions that are going to help them become great men at the end of the day. Whether it's a great football player on the field, but more importantly, hey, he's going to be a great husband someday. He's going to be a great father someday. And yeah, a lot of these lessons that we're trying to instill in these kids, they may not sense it right now or feel it, but hopefully the impact will show up a little bit later as they go on into whatever professional career. And again, like I said, just going on to be a great man outside of the realm of football.
When you have an in-season firing like this, all of a sudden former players start speaking up and stuff starts coming out that no one ever knew about before, or rumors, whatever. I mean, what can you say, I guess, just about the environment around here the last couple of years? And I'm not asking you to defend Andy, but I mean, just what do you make of, I guess it happens everywhere, but all of a sudden people that never said anything now want to come out and, slam dunk on the guy on his way out, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there is at the end of the day, I think everybody that is outside of the realm of what's happening in this building, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you do know, hey, that's for all of us within this building and have gone through this thing together to handle ourselves. And we're all very capable of handling ourselves. And we appreciate, and that's the great thing about being a part of a program like this. There are so many people that care. At the end of the day, that's awesome. You want to be at a program that people care, alumni care. This program is been built for however many years to be one of the most successful programs in the country when you talk about winning percentage and just what this place is all about. And so people care, and I understand that completely. So they're going to want to know everything that's going on in the building. They're going to want to voice their opinions, and alumni and all the guys that former players, they have a right to voice their opinion. But at the end of the day, it still is the people that were involved within this building. Hey, we'll handle this thing, and we'll take care of who matters the most, which is our student athletes.
Anything else?